David Olson, who's running for superintendent of public instruction, we were at an event, he was there, and he pulls Nicole and I aside, and he says, you need to talk to this mom, Jolie. He said she's got a daughter, 11 years old, in the Mukilteo school district. The daughter has some special education needs. She's got dyslexia. She has this kind of translating into some behavioral issues. And he said, you would not believe the lengths that this mom has had to go to get basic support that her tax money pays for from the Mukilteo school district for her daughter to be able to succeed in her classes. This mom, so he told us about this. We got in touch, put us in touch with this mom. She has spent, it's insane, 7 years, thousands of dollars on an attorney to basically send demand letters to the Mukilteo school district, had to go through this long drawn out complaint process through the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, and still 7 years later isn't getting the kind of support that she needs for her daughter and that her daughter needs to be able to succeed. And really, the conversation was interesting because it seems like to us that a lot of this comes down to funding. It's like, no, they just want to pluck her out of normal classes and put her in special education classes rather than giving her, a paraeducator so she can stay in these classes because she's a brilliant young girl, as her mom says. She just needs a little extra support. But it seems like they, maybe get more money for her if she's fully in these special education programs. And meanwhile, her mom, Jolie, says it is having a devastating impact on her as a parent and also on her daughter's mental health. As a parent, do you believe that you would have been able to navigate this without hiring an attorney?
No.
Wow.
And I think that's probably why we're still doing this, and that it's so common, because I know that I'm not the only one. In fact, I have other parents that, one of our close friends that was with my daughter in her classroom in fourth grade, they relocated out of state because there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
And, we try to talk like rational, normal human beings and with people that are paid by us to provide for our children. And it's just pushback, and there is no, you're dumbfounded. Mm-hmm. Just how could this be happening? What do you mean? Like, why aren't you helping? Why is this so hard? I mean, I feel like we're hostages.
So you mentioned your daughter is just in a state of crisis. I mean, how has all of this impacted her?
I mean, I can't find words because I don't know how bad it is. I know how bad it is just from as a parent, but, from a psychological, a professional, since I am not a professional, I think it's a lot worse than I know. And honestly, I don't know what we're going to do. I think, are we ever going to be normal? Are we ever going to move past all of this? Because these were the most important times of her life and her development and her education. And how are we going to, it's going to be years. And the trauma emotionally for her, it's really showing, because here she is last year, for the first time ever being in school, she was doing PowerPoint presentations. She's an artist. She was teaching the class how to draw dragons. I mean, her general education teacher last year was just like a normal teacher who's amazing, right? That cares about kids. And so she had never experienced, she's been in a cage.
Yeah.
And so then when we throw her back into, and plus her peers are at the other school in our neighborhood where she could be riding the bus, going to lunch with her friends. Just the last couple weeks have been, we're in trouble. Big trouble.
What do you mean by that?
Well, she was diagnosed with major depressive disorder last November. I mean, she's 11. And it's intense. I mean, I can't get her out of bed. She's coming home after school wanting to go to bed. This is not my child. She's angry. She doesn't, what I'm going through as a parent, and I've got a lot of mental health familiarity and I understand emotions and all of these things and trauma, and I'm struggling and what it's doing to her. So it's just, I'm taken back right now and I'm trying to get her the help and support that she needs. But right now she's shut down and really withdrawn. And I don't know. Every day I'm trying to find the solutions.
Yeah, it's just insane what this public school systems are doing to these parents. If you want to watch that full interview with Jolie Pesic from Sundays with Subscribers, you can sign up, undividedpod.com, undividedpod.com. And again, a big thank you to David Olson, candidate for Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, who cares enough about parents, knows that parents and students aren't getting what they need to succeed in our public school system, and who cornered us and basically says, you've got to talk to this mom. What's happening to her is not okay. And again, not every parent is going to be able to come out of pocket thousands of dollars, take time off work, hire this attorney, go through this legal process. And she won a complaint, by the way, against the school district. And you know what they did? Oh, they basically turned around, and you don't win like money or anything like that. Her daughter essentially wins more like hours of help, which she should have gotten anyway. But it's up to the mom and the school district to negotiate how that's all going to play out, when the mom has had failed negotiations with the school district to get basic help for her daughter who's struggling with her educational needs. So things have to change 100%. The education system in our state is failing. It is a symptom of a larger problem, and hopefully tonight can be the beginning of change and progress and a positive development for parents and kids in the state of Washington. Heart just breaks for her. Insane stuff. And by the way, when we posted that on Sundays with Subscribers, so many other parents said ditto. Ditto. I've experienced this too, or I used to work in the public school system, and this is all about money and funding, and it's not about the kids. Horrific stuff.